How's it going, bros? My name is PewDiePie. Welcome back, bros. Today I want to talk about this new show on that platform with zero content on it. That platform is Netflix. While scrolling through the nothing field of Netflix, I spotted this show called Making It in Marbella. Looking at the thumbnail, I thought it was going to be a reality show for rich people, but turned out to be about rich brokers doing real estate. Before I even watched this, I thought to myself it's going to be a boring mid look at me I'm rich shit. But instead it was uncomfortably funny, uncomfortable haha bad mid look at me I'm rich stick, which had made me want to talk about this mess. Before we go into this, go ahead and like the video, subscribe for more amazing content like this, and ring the bell for notifications when I post.
Stella.
Matthias, you too! I almost killed you!
Off the bat, this episode is a full house type of introduction, showcasing each person in their own quirky and snobby way. We start off with the boss, Eric, coming out with by far the best way to start off a show, with your first line being,
I have a wet dream.
A wet dream?
In Sweden we say våt dröm. I would love to be the biggest company on the coast.
Okay.
to whom he's talking to is his beautiful wife, Jennifer. She's his gorgeous Spanish wife who claims to be the boss of their marriage. If any of you know a Spanish woman, or married to one, you know that it's a fact that Spanish women love to be bossy and controlling of everything. Next up, in the sacrificial seance, we get Matthias, who seems to be the chill uncle in the show, always up to do fun shit with the crew. They show us his way of living, which is skydiving, driving yachts, sipping champagne with women, yada yada, you know, rich stuff, living just a simple life, quote unquote. After that, we get Maya, who's this very competitive woman that was able to sell the most expensive property at Home Run. We'll explain that a little bit later. Home Run is the name of the company, and they're all brokers working for Eric. You guys see they don't care. Me too. We finally get to the villain of the story, the antagonist, Robert the Doll. His whole goal is to be the best while being the complete asshole, which is goated. He's always shitting on someone who's fucked up on a sale, steal a property sale from right underneath someone's nose. We'll get to that later. Now here, I believe we get our protag, our heroes, ladies and gentlemen. Our angel, my wife, Dalma. She's a rental brokey who has what it takes to make it out of our Marbella. She's been pumping out mixtape after mixtape, hoping for someone like Young Thug or Cardi would pick it up on her shit and promote it. They never do. I'm not joking, nothing happens in this episode. Like, literally nothing, bro. I'm conjuring up demons to fight to distract me from this horrendous music plays. We see the wifey material Dalma not doing her job, inviting her friends over to a party at a poolside, which will bite her in the ass later. Speaking of cheeks, I know most of you were staring at that wagon back there that she got, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you're a gooner. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and alt-tab for yourself real quick, alright? You're not gonna stop staring at these females in the show. I'll admit they're very beautiful, but for a few of you with screw loose, you'll lose the plot of the show and just start gooning. That's no good. I highly advise you stay and watch this video so you don't have to watch this boring show and goon, but instead listen to me and think about edging like a real man. So the boss and his high commanding brokers that he chose, Maya and Matthias, are in a meeting speaking on selling this 10 million euro house. The house do look nice, but it doesn't have that Diddy approval, so I'm gonna have to give this house a 6 out of 10. Maya has a problem with our antag, who is also trying to sell this house. She doesn't think he'll fit in with the high command because he's too mean and disrespectful. He then shows up to the meeting thanks to the boss invite, which he then starts to start shit with Maya. Boss make a game out of this, saying whoever sells the house first gets to be his right hand man basically. Robert, who looks like H3H3, I'm gonna start calling him that actually because it's a lot easier to remember. H3 meets up with the boss's wife to talk about hosting a party at the villa. Before that, he had an awkward encounter with the waitress.
Can I please have one Negroni and one white wine?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. A glass, not a bottle.
They make quick flirtatious gestures towards each other before getting to why Eric is making this dumb game to ignore the hard work they do just to cater to Maya and Matthias. H3 believes this party they finna host is a guaranteed sell for the mansion. Fast forward. They throw a party at the mansion and bring hype to this dead neighborhood. Like literally, throughout the whole show, literally nothing happens in the city where they are. It only happens when they're around. It's kind of like main character type stuff. Anyway, while partying, H3H3 brings a client to the party to show him this house can manifest parties whenever you want. And it could be yours for only 2 million euros. Jorgen, he's an entrepreneur. He signs the papers, making H3 the winner, but only wants to tell the boss this victory.
12 000. Nej, sluta nu. Jag lovar dig. Så jag har haft en kund här idag, Kalle. Och han älskar huset. Älskar det. Vi stängde affären på plats.
I'm mining, I'm mining, I'm mining. Mob so icy, wonder why they kill me. I'm just mining in water, I just fell in a hole, now I'm crying.
So this episode starts with them talking about how Maya and Matthias doesn't support H3 even though he's been working hard and he thinks it's unfair how they treat him. Then Maya hits him with an Uno reverse card saying the same shit. Basically rich eating rich to get richer. Literal hell.
No! Not into the pit! It burns!
Everyone is called to a meeting about open house in Villa Bellini. Matthias will be listing and insists on having them bring people to this open house to hype it up. Eric, the boss, also brings up that they need to step it up a little bit. They need to be more consistent in their work. He brings up the fact that some people are in his office 12 to 14 hours putting in work while the other few are playing around on beach clubs with friends. He's basically throwing shade at our prog tag without really saying her name for her temptations without addressing her, and she retaliates.
You need to ignore all the temptation in Marbella.
I feel a little targeted. I just don't think you need to be in a place to work.
Bro cowers and put blame on everyone instead of putting his foot down and let her know. Now, if that was me, I would point her out, make her an example of not what to do, reprimand her for her wrongdoings, and let the group know that she represents everyone here, so if she fucks up, everyone fucks up. So you're not only punching down on her, but everyone else, making them know who's the boss. He doesn't do that, which makes everyone at the meeting lose some respect for him. Minus 50 aura points. Matthias and Jessica, the tall queen, goes to the Bellini to check it out. This house looks like a place where Diddy could perform his freakouts if he's on that fentanyl-laced Oreo pack. A little small, but good for secret freak-offs, so I'll give it a 5 out of 10, Diddy approved. The AC is busted, so it might not be suitable for a party, but Jennifer doesn't care. There's a lot of women in the show that doesn't seem to have a single line, always in camera shot. I tried looking at IMDb, but it comes up with nothing. That's a little bit suspect, but who knows? Okay, well, this is me from the future. Just letting you know, I just uncovered some crazy shit that I'm gonna go over at the end of this video. Anyway, a new guy joins into the Royal Rumble. His name is Kiro. Kiro is a free-form, free-spirited individual who's a hardworking person, but also knows when to be a carefree and tap into his spiritual self. Yeah, Eric sends H3 and Dalma to show him the ropes of working at Home Run. Nothing honestly happens here. They just show how different H3 and Dalma is and how their personality always clashes with each other. H3 leaves, giving Kiro and Dalma one-on-one time. They seem to be hitting it off well. They seem to have a lot of common. They're both in spiritual healing. They flow better than anyone else at work. They agreed that being weird and different is based. She gives him a tour around the house, acting like it's hers. That's like some way of her feeling connected to the house or something. I don't know. That's what she does though. I believe Diddy may approve of this house, as well as Kevin Hart. Seeing they're both freaks, I can say it's a clear 7.5 out of 10. It's a very nice looking house indeed. Fast forward, the show tries to write Dalma as a manipulator, trying to use Kiro for her own gains in the company, which is wrong because they literally show H3 and Maya trying to turn him into their assistant in the later episodes, which I'll show you later. We finally get to Matthias doing his open house, and Ankh seems to be doing a great job with the party. We see Eric ask Kiro how Dalma and H3 were. He stated that they fought a lot and didn't get to tour with them both, but likes Dalma a lot and said they clicked and was grateful for her walking him through things. Eric then reminds him that they're competing against each other and should not be too close. Blah blah blah. Eric then meets with H3 to ask how's Kiro, which he says he's showing more potential than Dalma and will replace her with him. Before Eric will respond to that, Dama shows up and asks to leave early. They're supposed to stay till 9 p.m, but it's 8:45 and Dama wishes to leave now. He lets her go, and H3 gives him that look like he told him so. He proceeds to talk behind her back and question if she should be fired or needs to be fired.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer every night.
Speedrun challenge, boys. Eric calls for a meeting again to talk about the fall of Jack Dorothy and why it's so satisfying that everyone is getting their payday off. Nah, they just get Apple Watches, which is cool. But they cooked my boy Kiro, man. They didn't give him one because he joined late. He also brings up a tournament that's being orchestrated by Matthias. My claims of it being the Royal Rumble is true. Dama asks how long they're gonna stay there for, which makes everyone target her like she's the Undertaker in a Royal Rumble. It ends up her losing the 1v3 against H3 and the other. It sucks because they jumped her and threw her out of the ring, eliminating her for no reason, basically. She pulls up to Kira's house to calm down and chat. She ends up with her talking about her past with H3. She tells him how they were cool before, but something happened where he turned cold towards her. He doesn't talk or text anymore, and she doesn't know why, and that what stresses her out the most. She questions if it was her fault that something in her personal life or work life made H3 hate her. I kind of feel bad for her. She seems to be trying her best, but they don't see her potential no more. The show changes the topic by showing us what Unc is doing. We get to see him in his night fit with his wife at her boutique store. I think that's what it is. I don't know. One of her high-end network clients arrived to the store to meet them both while looking for a house. She's a very special woman who needs a very special house. Matthias' choice of words. The token is the name of this building, and in my opinion, it's not good, like at all. The tree in the middle is pretty cool, I guess, but everything else is a no siree, 3 out of 10. Skipping ahead, again, Dama and Maya went somewhere for drinks and a little chat. Now, why is this important, you may ask? Well, this is where we connect the dots. So this dude H3 had a thing for Dama at the beginning, hence her saying that they were good friends at first. He tries to make a move on her by asking if she wanted to come over for drinks at his place. She told him that she wasn't interested and made bro do a complete 180. If you take that into consideration, this motherfucker was a freaky gooner. Bro tried to use the new girl for physical gratification by using the nice guy method, but once he was rejected, he went full psycho and started hating on her, hoping for her downfall. A true nice guy, if you know what I mean. By the way, that whole point of that interaction was just to talk about how he was such a freak. Crazy, I know. Dama learns that Jennifer hates her as well. She thinks she's a fake, two-faced woman hanging by a thread and standing on thin ice with the company. Dama later meets up with Maya and Matthias to tell them the same thing Jennifer said to her. How can H3 act like a child and get slapped on the wrist while she does one thing wrong or threatens to be fired? Eric sets up a talk with both Dama and H3 to talk things out, but it goes completely nowhere. I'm wasting my life essence watching this stuff, man. I believe this episode is mainly about the downfall of our villain, H3. Eric meets up with the new head of the sales who's going to be taking his place in the future. His name is Raja. H3 is on a walk with his mother. He gives his mom a tour of a nice house where he tells her she's gonna be living in one of these one day when he becomes the head of the sales, foreshadowing his manic downfall. We switch to Eric and Jennifer being shown a house called The Nest, which is by far the best house I've seen, but the second best house in the show. But personally, that house is what I would love to live in, like without a doubt. This house has a nice pool, a chill corner in the backyard, nice staircase, lovely rooms, and 3 secret cool rooms, which is a big deal for me. It seemed this new character, Mommy Milkers. Sorry, Olivia has some exclusive houses that she's offering or allowing Eric's company to sell. Eric gets some alone time with her. That lucky son of a bitch. Discuss about trusting him to sell one, if not all, of her houses. Skim a little bit ahead, we see another meeting being held with everyone here. Eric is about to reveal the person he's alluding to at the last episode. I skipped that because who cares? Well, everyone but H3 doesn't care. When Eric announces Rogers as head of sale, H3 was heartbroken. He was so close to getting that position, but ended up going away from him, and that hurt him. But you can see the smile on Dama and Mia's face when they heard his soul getting crushed. We skip straight to the party that Olivia's running, crawfish theme party, whatever that means. But it's more like a party before a party, which is what rich people who was a little insane would do. This insane person is wearing an outfit that would make me want to go to war for. By the way, this isn't me talking like that, it's my alternate reality self, don't forget that. My boy Kiro arrives to the party to talk to Mommy and Maya about maybe quitting to work for Mommy as an in-house agent. But before she can get an answer from him, she tells him to think about it, sit on it for later. Now me personally, I would do anything for those Mommy meals. Sorry, I had to cut that part out. Alternate reality me was tweaking. The party must have been a good party because they just skipped it completely. We get to some of the females who works at Home Run coming up with a plan with something unique for Olivia's open house party. With the help from Olivia herself, they come up with a plan to use birds as a theme set for the party, with bubbles to make it cute. You can tell this when we have some spiritual pressure emitting from her, which is pretty heavy. The moment she shows up at the home run, you can see her, you can see the whole room change the moment they notice she's there. And then when she sat down with the ladies, they all got nervous from her size and heaviness of her aura. Plus 200 aura. Watching the sun go down, it was finally time for them to get the party started, just for the party to instantly die. Not a lot of people came to this party. A select few came due to the invites of the Home Run family or Home Run company alone, and even they didn't actually party. It ended up being a complete failure in the eyes of Olivia. Olivia meets up with Eric and Maya and asks how they liked the event. Eric says he was really pleased about how it went, which Olivia uses her spiritual pressure to question why he's pleased with a loss. He then responds with it's important to attract the kind of people who can tell the difference between a true premium listing and a premium listing, quote unquote. This interaction gets a little bit hot after she mocks his rebuttal. With this, she states that her partner, me, and some of our investors are a little hesitant and we won't be using Eric's company to sell the rest of her projects. They then ended with the cliche, it's a jungle out there, it's eat or be eaten phrase. No one cares. Continue on this downfall of H3 as he's late to this open house he's supposed to be selling. Everything is going to chaos, there's not a lot of things that's there, and when he finally arrives, he brings no good news. As for the truck with the glasses for the wine, it's not here. Supposedly, the tires got popped and they're stuck somewhere, and he's not listening to Jennifer's orders of making a plan B. He comes out as super arrogant and losing his cool on the people who are doing his job for him, which is make sure the house is up to shape to sell. We get to see the dynamic duo again, Kira and Dama, as they figured out where Dama's gonna be living. He suggests she can move in with him until she finds a place because she has no plans on looking for a place to stay when she gets kicked out in 2 weeks of her apartment. He then wants to figure out his purpose in the company when he has never gotten a listing yet. He then wants to figure out his purpose in the company when he has never gotten a listing yet. This show is more than a reality TV series than a real estate show. We skip ahead to Kira meeting with H3 and Maya, who promises opportunities for Kira. Their pitch was for Kira to come in and help Maya with her workload and daily tasks, and he could be trying to find listing at the same time, mainly for rentals, but they give him false hope on getting an actual sale. He can tell they're trying to make him their assistant for the both of them, or mainly for Maya. He says no and leaves, making me forget everything I just said. Somehow, H3 teleporting to Eric's car while he's driving, and they talk about H3 attitude. H3 replaces his manners with business-only mindset, which isn't good long-term. He flips the argument by saying he's not the only one that's done bad things in the company, but Eric isn't having it. I assume he left H3 in the middle of the street on a freeway before meeting up with Roger the alien. But nothing happens, so we skip to Jennifer showing both Eric and Roger a video that looks very and totally staged.
Builder.
But that is Robert.
That's Robert.
What is he doing?
He's at the new office breaking walls.
But wait a minute. That is a wall.
I'll let y'all know right now, nothing's gonna happen to H3. Maybe in season 2 they'll bring this up, but in this scene, everyone just forgot once the scene ended. Like, Jennifer was defending H3 for being one of the best or the best brokers for the company, saying that he always does his job correctly. But as we just seen like a couple minutes ago, he's clearly coming in late and not having anything done and not having everything there for the open house. I think everyone in the show experiencing mass short-term memory loss, including me, because I completely forgot what I was talking about. We got Dama speaking to her girlfriend on the phone about H3 kicking her out. They're both wondering what the fuck is wrong with H3 and why there's so much drama around Dama. Guys, I'm running out of fucks to give. Why am I doing this to myself? Here's this scene where Jennifer is arguing with Eric about humiliating H3 for having him play that game to reach the board even though he was such a great asset to the company his whole time being here. She uses this as a shilling to bring herself into the convo by saying that she deserves a spot in the board of directors as well. I'm confused here. Why did you bring up H3 and say all of this just to end it with you promoting yourself to be in the board? You dumb selfish bitch. That whole act was pointless as we catch up to Kira and Dalma again, but this time they're getting coffee or tea, and it doesn't really matter, really. She asks for no latte or no lactose, which brings Kira talking about his cream having lactose in it before, and they lied to him about it. Riveting talk. After the funny times, shit gets serious as they talk about the things I spoke about before. Kiro feels unmotivated at HR, which Dalma thinks that they need emotional support in the company. Everyone's so corporate and robotic, which they're the complete opposite of. They then do this weird out of place zoom in on their faces, which cuts to the whole gang back together for another meeting. Eric and Roger speaks of a new management team, leaving us on a cliff.
Finally! I've been trying to catch you boys all day! Now that I've got you right where I want you, I'd like to buy all your chocolate.
This is the final episode of the season, and we're starting off with a banger soundtrack and two boss women entering the scene. This new character is Stephanie, coming at us with some fire fits and promotes a deal for Maya that she can't say no to. Stephanie proposes that Maya should sell this mansion she's building for a whopping $30 million. To Maya, this would be by far the biggest and most expensive house in the history of Home Run. Stephanie comes up with an actual good idea for Mia to open her own company before she sells the house. That's a lot of money, no doubt. With that amount of money, she can build a company from scratch and thrive from that. Cutting to the next day, everyone is driving to a secluded house where everyone's going to be staying for the next 48 hours. We see Dalma hating on the fact that she's going to be near HD for 3 days, but then calms her nerves knowing that Kira will be going as well. They all arrive to the house except for Maya, who's going to be late. She told them that she has a family important emergency going on. They're all fine with it and okay with her being there or coming in late, which is a complete lie because she's going to be meeting up with Stephanie. Check out this big old mansion. We go to Eric giving a quick speech at the house when they're all together, but we don't care about that. So we switch to Stephanie and Maya finally reaching the mansion. Man, this mansion is probably the best mansion I've ever seen in this show. Maybe my entire life, maybe, I don't know. I'm not joking. I actually paused the video and yelled out, damn, when I saw the finished digital mansion. El Unco is easily the best mansion that this show has ever shown us. It's an easy 10 out of 10. You can really see how huge this mansion is when they finally step foot into the building. Stephanie kind of reminds me of this one girl I knew since high school. Someone who's smart as fuck, but also loves to go partying like every fucking day. Stephanie's personality mirrors my friend's one-to-one, uncannily. We then get a glimpse of Maya and her family life as she decides to ask her family what she should do in this circumstance. Of course, both her husband and her kids see this as a huge opportunity and says yes, and she shouldn't let this fly by. It was a wholesome scene for the family, really nice. But we get back to the whole gang. We finally see Maya reaching to the party or to the house, and everyone's back together for one last time, and they party like animals, sort of. They all got blacked out drunk and went to sleep. After surviving the hangover, they ate breakfast and performed a ritual. This ritual was hosted by none other than Kira with his banjo, little drum set. Kira looks like they're literally mocking him right in front of his face. To play both sides here, I can say that this new thing they were trying was making them a little uncomfortable, and maybe they thought laughing about it would lighten up the mood for themselves. Maybe they were laughing at Kira, but I doubt it. If anything, they don't know a lot about their spiritual self, so they find it funny to do something foreign and strange to them, like this. A few minutes go by, and Rogers finally speaks on the two new management boards. One team will consist of shareholders, of course. Rogers, Eric, Maya, and Onk Matthias. He finally made it, boys. He said that look in H3H3's face that he was not pleased of the list, but continues to list. The second board will consist of Rogers and Eric, again, only if they want to. H3H3 and Jennifer. H3 finally hears his name and is somewhat pleased, but Jennifer is very much hurt. She feels like she's been singled out. Basically, dating the same thing that Dalma did. She's low-key a little hypocrite if you think about it. They both seem dissatisfied with the choices Rogers made.
So how do you think the meeting went? Or the announcement?
It was fucking bullshit. I think it's fucking bullshit to have two management teams.
They're both confused about their roles. She feels it's unfair that they're put into this pity management board to please everyone, knowing that everyone was actually going to be upset by this. We're finally at the end of this. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm gonna be quick about this. Hiro quits the home run company base to be free. Jennifer is pissed at Eric and wants a part of the company. Oof. Maya spawns on Stephanie's boat to agree with the business offer. H3H3 thinks he's a shit now and finally hits the gym. And everything is in chaos, and Unk is edging to all of this. That's the end of the show. For now, there may be another season or there may not. I'm leaning towards there not being one due to a little investigation I did. So Dama has also quit Home Runner, which you don't really know if you didn't like. Basically, she quit Home Run off screen when the season ended. She also didn't appear at the premiere showing at Netflix. On her Instagram story not too long ago of me writing this, someone asked her in the comments if she did an audition for the show.
Funny story. No, I did not audition for the show. None of us auditioned for the show. There is a lot of misconceptions from what I hear from other people in Marbella also about Netflix asking other companies to do the show first and then asking home run brokers. This is obviously a lie. Being in a show like this takes much more than just like a giant company like Netflix going around and asking different companies to be in a show like this. No, that's not how it works. So how it works is that a production team finds you and finds you interesting, and you is in this case obviously home run brokers. So when I started in home run, there were already plans to do the show. So when I applied for a job at home run brokers, I didn't know that they were going to do this TV show or that it was in the plans. It wasn't decided yet. So after, it was on my first day actually that they were filming the pilot episode, and after they filmed the pilot, they cast everyone. So they come and they have interviews with everyone, they speak to everyone. So everyone in the company is not in the show because the people who produced the show chose who were going to be mostly in the show. And in this sense, it had a lot to do with the Swedish speaking people because it's a Nordic production. So no, none of us auditioned. A production team found home run brokers and said, this could be a TV show. And then they filmed the pilot episode and then sent it to Netflix, and then Netflix approved it and gave budget to film. So that's how it works.
From what it sounds like, Dama was treated very poorly, even behind scenes with the company. I don't know if this is true, this is her story. She could be lying, but I mean, who really knows? I feel like she might be telling the truth. I'm hoping something else happens. Maybe in the next season they'll explain why she left. They'll give their side of the story, which I feel like might happen, but I don't think there could be another season because she was the main character in my book. She kind of was like the main focus of this whole story. If she leaves, who's going to be more important than that? Who's going to fill up that role? Everyone else seems like a 2D character. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically it. That's all for show. I think I'm honestly losing my mind. I need to stop doing this shit, bro. Fuck. But yeah, that's basically it. I'll catch y'all later. Bro face.